According to Reuters, in his annual press conference, Russian President Vladimir Putin expressed a willingness to negotiate over Ukraine, signaling potential talks with US President-elect Donald Trump. Putin emphasized Russia's readiness for compromise but also stated that Ukraine must be open to negotiations. While Russia has made territorial gains in Ukraine, Putin dismissed claims that Russia is in a weak position. He reiterated that Russia would not make major territorial concessions but is open to discussions with Ukrainian authorities. Putin also ruled out any temporary ceasefire, insisting that only a long-lasting peace deal would be acceptable. He emphasized the need for a legally binding agreement, stating that Ukraine's parliament would need to sign any deal for it to be valid. In addition, Putin reflected on Russia's economic situation, acknowledging inflation but claiming growth outpaces many Western nations. Putin also discussed military matters, boasting of Russia's hypersonic missile capabilities and suggesting further missile tests to challenge Western defense systems. In the occupied West Bank, Palestinian officials have reported the deaths of 6 individuals during Israeli military operations in 2 refugee camps. 4 Palestinians were killed and 3 others injured when Israeli forces bombed a vehicle in the Tulkarm camp, while 2 more were killed in a raid on the Balata refugee camp near Nablus. Among the dead was 80-year-old Halima Abu Lail, who was shot in the chest and leg, her death confirmed by the Palestinian Red Crescent. Meanwhile, Hamas has condemned Israeli airstrikes in Yemen, calling the attacks a dangerous development. These strikes came after a missile launched by Houthi rebels targeted Israel, with Israeli forces retaliating by targeting ports and energy infrastructure in Yemen. The strikes resulted in the deaths of at least 9 people in the western province of Hodeida. Hamas expressed its support for the Houthis' missile attacks and urged them to escalate their efforts against Israel, describing it as part of a broader regional struggle against the Zionist entity. In response to the missile attacks from Yemen, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu issued a stern warning to the Houthis, stating they would pay a heavy price for targeting Israel. Netanyahu labeled the Houthis as one of the last arms of Iran's axis of evil and vowed retribution for any further aggression. In today's roundup from Pakistan, we begin with Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif's address at the D8 summit in Cairo, where he emphasized the importance of investing in youth for Pakistan's socio-economic development. With over 60% of Pakistan's population under 30, he highlighted the untapped potential of youth as a driver of innovation and growth. The Prime Minister also underscored the crucial role of small and medium enterprises in creating jobs and fostering entrepreneurship. He also spoke on Pakistan's efforts to empower its youth through various programs, including the distribution of over 600,000 laptops and billions in loans for young entrepreneurs. Moving on, Pakistan's Foreign Office has criticized the United States for imposing additional sanctions on 4 Pakistani firms, accusing them of involvement in Pakistan's ballistic missile program. The FO termed the sanctions biased and harmful to regional stability, arguing they undermine non-proliferation efforts. This move comes amid growing tensions between the 2 countries, with Pakistan asserting that its strategic capabilities are designed to defend its sovereignty and promote peace in South Asia. PPP staged a walkout in the National Assembly protesting the ongoing absence of federal ministers. PPP lawmakers voiced their frustrations over the lack of ministerial presence in key sessions, which they described as an insult to Parliament. Lawmakers criticized the reliance on parliamentary secretaries, who they argued are not adequately briefed on crucial matters. Despite some attempts to address the issue, the situation remains unresolved, leading to further discontent among opposition members.